the story of Kwame Nkrumah. Long before the world knew the nation called Ghana as a symbol of African freedom, there was a young boy born in a small town called Nkrumah in 1909. His name was Kwame Nkrumah. As a child, Nkrumah was curious, intelligent, and determined. He loved learning and believed education could change lives. He attended school in the Gold Coast, which was what Ghana was called under British colonial rule. But even as a young man, he noticed something painful. Africans were living under foreign control in their own land. Nkrumah dreamed of something greater. He traveled far away to America and later to England to continue his studies. Life was difficult. Sometimes he struggled to find money for food and shelter, but he never gave up. During those years, he studied politics, philosophy, and the history of black people around the world. He met thinkers and activists who inspired him to fight for freedom, unity, and dignity for Africans everywhere. When Nkrumah returned to the Gold Coast in 1947, the people were ready for change. The streets were filled with frustration. Farmers, workers, students, and ordinary citizens wanted independence from British rule. Nkrumah spoke with passion and fire. His message was simple: self-government now. The people listened. Soon, he formed the Convention People's Party, CPP, a movement built on the strength of ordinary citizens. Crowds gathered everywhere he went. His speeches gave people hope and courage, but the colonial government saw him as dangerous. They arrested him and threw him into prison. Yet even from prison, Nkrumah's influence grew stronger. In 1951, elections were held, and astonishingly, the people voted massively for him and his party. The British authorities had no choice but to release him. Step by step, negotiations for independence began. Then came the historic night. On March 6, 1957, under the midnight sky, the Gold Coast became Ghana, the first sub-Saharan African country to gain independence from colonial rule. Nkrumah stood proudly before the nation and declared, "Ghana, our beloved country, is free forever." Cheers erupted across the land. Drums sounded. Tears filled many eyes. Across Africa and the Black world, people celebrated because Ghana's freedom became a symbol of hope for other nations still fighting colonial rule. But Nkrumah's dream was bigger than Ghana alone. He believed Africa should unite as one powerful continent. He worked with leaders from many countries and helped inspire liberation movements across Africa. He invested in roads, schools, industries, and major projects like the Akosombo Dam to modernize Ghana. Yet, leadership was not easy. Over time, political tensions grew. Some criticized his style of government and economic decisions. In 1966, while Nkrumah was traveling abroad, a coup removed him from power. Far from home, the man who once led millions into freedom lived his final years in exile. But despite this painful ending, his vision never died. Today, Kwame Nkrumah is remembered as one of Africa's greatest revolutionary leaders, a man who believed black people could govern themselves, build strong nations, and shape their own destiny. His story is not just about politics. It is a story about courage, a story about vision, a story about believing in freedom even when the world says it is impossible. And to this day, his words still echo across Africa. The independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of Africa. Thank you for listening. Written by the Almighty Dread. All rights reserved.